Creating Active Directory users and home directories for ITedge. Let's start with the Windows 2008 R2 machine. Before we can create users, we first need to create their home directory. Simply create a folder somewhere called Home. We'll then need to share this. Right-click, Properties, Sharing, Advanced Sharing. Share this folder. We will call this Home. And I like to share this to domain users. With full access. This will be restricted with the folder permissions, shown later. To change the security on the folder so that only users can get to their own home drives, we'll then choose security, and we can see here by default there are a number of users given from the default of the C drive. Now, if this was a hard drive mounted into a machine, we could delete that from the top level quite happily, but because this is our C drive, we won't do that. What we will do, however, is block the permissions from flowing from the top of the folder at this folder, and I'll show you what I mean. Simply choose Change Permissions and untick this box that says Include Inheritable Permissions. Now, we will remove these permissions that are being inherited and add the Domain Administrators group, and the Local Administrators group. Okay, you can see that only the domain admins and the administrators have access to this folder. When we create the individual's home folders underneath this folder, we will give that individual user access to their individual folder. We could have also added more users at this screen here. And you can see the rights are slightly simpler. Of course, we don't want domain guests. Also, what we need to do here is allow the users to come into the share to see their folders. They'll need some very basic permissions here. So, domain users. And we only want to give them the readability and we only want it to be on this folder only. That means they won't get read access to the other users' folders. This folder only. You'll see that this will come up as special. And that is it for the home folder. Next, we'll create a container for our users. Easy. And for the sake of showing you how to add users to groups, we'll create a group. Okay. Okay, so we'll right click in the folder, or I believe you can click on the folder, and the first user here today will be Stephen. The login of Stephen, a complex password, user must change password at next login. I like that. Okay, after we've created the account, we need to define additional properties. So most of these additional properties should be fairly self-explanatory. I suggest simply taking your time, looking through them, and if there's anything you don't understand, a quick Google will have that resolved in no time. This is where we create the home drive. So we'll map the home drive as H drive, and the path needs to be what we call UNC. So our server is serve 2008 R2. There is the home share, and in here we'll create a folder called Stephen, and this will be our path. Easy. And we'll say yes to that. Now, interestingly, you'll see here that is automatically given Stephen full control of that folder. We can back that down a little bit. Full control will allow a user to define access rights and things inside that folder. So usually I would only give modify, read, write, list, read and execute, the ones you can see here on the screen. That is more than enough for a user to create folders and put files in those folders and work. Of course, we'll give our administrators, they will get access from the home folder into this Stephen folder. Had the permissions not been created automatically, you would simply hit edit, add Stephen, and modify, and it'd be done exactly the same thing. Here under member of, we can add users to groups that we've created. Easy as that. Most of these other tabs you won't use. And when you do, they'll be for advanced functions. Now this process will be virtually exactly the same under Windows 2012. Let me quickly show you that process. The first difference you'll notice is instead of a little checkbox, there will be this disable inheritance button. It means the same thing. Then continue as normal. Okay, so the only thing that could possibly make creating users any easier is a script which does all the tasks for you. Let's show you the PowerShell solution. Okay, so I have deleted the user, the container, and the group, and the home folder. Let's use this script to create the home folder, share the home folder, add the administrators, allow the users to browse the top level, import the Active Directory module, recreate the Edge users OU or container, and then create the accounting group. And here we can see the home folder with the sharing. That can be users or it can be domain users. Doesn't really matter. And we can see the security. Okay, now for the second part of the script. Now, all of this here simply creates a file on your C drive called create users, and this is the script that we'll run. But before we do that, let's have a look at it. Now, it will prompt for a first name and a last name. It will put those into a CSV, comma separated values file. This simply says, and I'll show you in a second, that if you come out the lines above, it will use a pre-existing CSV that you have, imports the Active Directory module, imports the CSV, the values that we define, and then for each line it will set the password, name, given name, surname, enable the account, display name, SAM account name, user principal name, change password at next login, set the H drive, home directory, and the container, as well as make their home drive, set up the permissions on their home drive. This just defines a variable, user1, which is the user we're talking about, that we can then insert into the add accounting group. So let's see that work. Right click, run with PowerShell, first name, last name, and we're done. We should see Edge users, Stephen, the fields, must change password, member of, and maps the H drive. Oops, that should say, yep, 2008 R2. And you can see the home drive. Of course, that won't be shared, and the security, which is absolutely perfect. Now, what I was saying before was that if we edit this file, comment out these values here so it doesn't prompt us, we edit this CSV, and add our users like that. We have just easily created all of our users. And their home directories. Just to show you, the script works under Server 2012. Okay, back to 2008. Let me just show you about these folders and why I've done this to the security. On our Windows 8 machine, we will log in. We'll have to reset our password because of that flag we checked. You'll notice that we have an H drive, okay, and that is what we mapped before, and this will take us straight into the user's home drive. Now, if we browse to the server, we can see all the shares, and we can see the home drive, or home drives, because of this special permission here. But we do not have access to go outside of into anything except for our home drive, and that is because we've got access to it, but not the others, and it doesn't flow down like these ones flow down from the folders above, and that one does not flow down because it's this folder only. So I hope I've explained and demonstrated that well. I've shown you today how to create users and home drives in Windows 2008 R2 and Windows 2012. All the scripts will be available on the website. Please feel free to leave any notes, in comments that you like. And yeah, this has been a production for ITedge.com.au.